This is the Little League Softball World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Today, the first game of the series. North Carolina, represented by Rowan County Little League, faces the champions of the Central Regional, Austintown Little League of Ohio. 12 teams, 2 brackets, coming from as many as 9,000 miles. 9 minutes right down the road, 9,000 miles all across the world here, gathered here in the epicenter of softball. Here's your format. A couple of teams competing in double elimination format until just a couple of teams remain. And those final 2 teams, it's a winner-take-all right here with no if necessary game. Matching alongside former Little League star Jenny Dalton Hill. 12 teams from all across this country, all across the world, Latin America, Asia, Europe. They're here, and it all starts today. What an event.
Yeah, so excited that COVID didn't shut it down again, right? But now the butterflies are flying for all of these teams as they take the field in the opener here in Greenville for the Little League Softball World Series.
Some have come a long way away. Some have played more games than others to get here. How about Ohio from Austintown Little League? No team played more games to get here than this team from Ohio. Lost the first game of the regional, won 6 straight elimination games.
And then there was a period of 24 hours in that run where they had to play 3 games. So these girls have shown that they've got grit, definitely swag, to be able to come here and play.
Not as much sweat and perspiration required for North Carolina to get here. Did not play in the regionals. Didn't have to. The home state gets the auto bid as they were the North Carolina state champs. Went 2-0 in the state tournament and did that, Jenny, by outscoring the opposition 46-2. What a performance from them. Let's meet Rowan County Little League.
My name is Tinley Shell, and my favorite softball player is Sydney Sherrill. My name is Lanai Radcliffe, and my favorite softball team is Clemson. My name is Addison Barrier, and my favorite baseball player is Ronald Acuna Jr.
My name is CJ Haynes, and my favorite softball team is the Tennessee Volunteers.
My name is Mackenzie Melker, and my favorite softball player is Sis Bates.
My name is Ashlyn Pfister, and my favorite softball player is Catherine Sandercock.
My name is Emma Smith, and my nickname is Drip.
My name is Remy Haggerty, and my favorite softball player is Odyssey Alexander.
My name is Ansley Jenkins, and my favorite drink is Dr. Pepper.
My name is Megan Limbarger, and my favorite food is chicken Alfredo.
My name is Presley Patterson, and my favorite color is green.
My name is Bristol Smith, and my favorite athlete is Elizabeth Kitley.
North Carolina in districts outscored the opposition 32-1 in 3 games, then 14-1 in state in 2 games. That's 46-2 in 5.
Yeah, they have done such a good job with the bats, but more than anything, the change in Little League this year is that continuous lineup. So all players on the roster hit all the way through before they flip things back over, back to the top.
And for Ohio, Mila Hamley gets the start in the circle. She has been the workhorse.
Yeah, she has developed her changeup so well, has worked hard to develop that pitch. It is a difference maker for her now, but she'll rely on that screwball and has great control of it.
First pitch in there for a strike. Mila Hamley, again, was the pitcher of record in that first regional loss to Ohio. Had a rough outing and then didn't coast the rest of the way, but really carried the team on her back. That one outside. It is 1-1.
And she will use that screwball all day long. That's the one she has the most control over. And when you settle into this first game, you've got to find a way to calm the nerves and get yourself centered to be able to have a long day out there in the circle.
1-1 to Patterson. That one to short in the hole. Averill. Oh, and the nice stretch there at first from Greathouse.
Defensively, this Central team has done such a good job backing up Mila Hamley in the circle. That play over there at short, it's a hot shot. So good at just getting down, making a solid throw over to first base. And look at that stretch. Great play by the first baseman.
Great play by Greathouse. 1 out away. 1 out into this game here in the first game of this Little League Softball World Series. That brings up Ainsley Jenkins for North Carolina.
Ball.
Ainsley Jenkins, 13-year-old out of West Rowan Middle School in Salisbury. It's about 3 hours west of here. And we are in Greenville, Eastern North Carolina, in there for a strike, 1-1.
And this field, Matt, is so pristine. Love the way that this Little League ballpark has absolutely embraced this World Series and made it look so beautiful.
Foul tip into the glove. 1-2. This is a tournament ballpark. Postseason played for baseball and softball. We are big fans of the softball variety this week. 1-2. Called strike 3.
And that's that screwball outside corner. Beautiful spot. Nips it and sits down the second out of the inning. But in the circle, it looks as though Mila Hamley has settled down nicely and has filled the zone with strikes, making Central have to really come at it.
C.J. Haynes at the plate now, pounds this one to center field. Seneca Coates going back. It's over her head. Haynes goes into second, halts at second with a 2-out stand-up double.
Huge hit by CJ, deep center field, and they noticed that Mila Hamley was trying to get ahead of all of these batters, throwing first pitch strikes, really keeping the ball tight on the plate in the beginning of an at-bat. Haynes does not waste any time. Jumps on it, drives it deep, and puts herself in scoring position.
And now striding into the box, Remy Haggerty. Hamley's pitching counterpart today. She'll be in the circle for North Carolina. Two pitchers that'll be pretty cool, calm, and collected, not showing a ton of emotion there in the circle today. In there for a strike, 0-1.
And I like the way that Hamley is just attacking the strike zone, but she's going to need to be careful. We want to see that changeup that she's been working on to try to disrupt the timing of these hitters.
Ball.
Just misses. 1-1. Yeah, we talked to Mila's dad, head coach Matt Hamley. That's where does she get that? Just level-headed, no emotion. Say, well, it's not from me. It's not from me. That is not my MO. I'm a pretty emotional guy, emotional coach, and she just does her thing in the circle.
Yeah, head coach Matt Hamley talks about how superstitious he is, how he has to do so many things to make sure that the softball gods are smiling down on him today.
1-2 to Haggerty.
Ball.
Misses. Runner goes. Tagged down a little bit high. And the runner, C.J. Haynes, gets in there with the stolen base.
Well, that's a heads-up play over there at second by C.J. Haynes, recognizing that Annabelle Mikesell was a little bit forward of third base. And so as she receives the ball, she's not ready to come back and tag. And so that slide gets underneath the tag. Really good job of getting in there.
Can Haggerty deliver? Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning for Hamley, and they leave a runner stranded at third.
Great outing so far by Mila Hamley, getting 2 strikeouts in the inning and getting the last one on that ball up in the zone for the swing and a miss.
No runs in the top of the first inning for the team from North Carolina. You're looking at the team from Ohio getting set to come to the plate. Let's meet them.
My name is Zara Burt, and my favorite basketball player is LeBron James.
My name is Tori Greathouse, and my favorite drink is sweet tea.
My name is Ava Fisher. My favorite food
is French fries.
My name is Amadi Beardsley, and my favorite food is chicken Alfredo.
My name is Seneca Coates, and my favorite college is Stanford.
My name is Bella Matter, and my favorite music artist is Taylor Swift.
My name is Mila Hamley, and my dream job is to become a marine mammalologist.
My name is Lexi Petrillo, and my favorite person is my mom.
My name is Kate Averill. My favorite vacation was to Iceland.
My name is Annabelle Mikesell, and my favorite subject is math.
My name is Gianna Hoops, and my favorite team is Savannah Bananas.
That's the Ohio lineup, and it starts with Seneca Coates. This is a team that just didn't run away from anybody in the regionals. They're used to pretty close games.
They're used to them. They know that they can come back against any kind of deficit. But starting off, they put their best hitter up at the top of the lineup, as Seneca Coates was 10 for 18 in regionals.
And for North Carolina in the circle, it will be Remy Haggerty. Again, a couple of workhorses going toe-to-toe today.
They are, and Remy Haggerty has proven herself in the circle, throws in the mid-50s, two-seam fastball mostly, and very reliable for that strikeout pitch. The four-seam that she throws has the most movement. That gets the swing and the miss, but she's the rare lefty in the circle here in Greenville.
Her combined district and state stats, 32 innings, 48 strikeouts, 17 hits and 9 walks. Yeah, the longest time off. Didn't play in a regional. Practicing since. First game in a couple of weeks. And you mentioned the very dangerous Seneca Coates, who puts that one down. Haggerty got her. Haggerty wheels and fires against a very dangerous runner off the base path.
Well, to have a pitcher in the circle to be able to play defense so well, that really sets things up nicely for this team to be able to put the ball in the hands of such a trusted defender and pitcher as Remy Haggerty. Great play. Look at that look down the line. Good camera angle shows you that definitely was an out.
That brings up Kate Averill, 13 years old, Austintown Middle School. Great athlete, good base runner, good contact hitter. Wants to own a bakery. I'll be a customer. That one's in there for a strike, 1-1.
And Kate had a big double in regionals. She was 3 for 15 in that tournament. You mentioned the bakery, but more than anything, she's a three-sport athlete as she plays volleyball and track as well as softball.
1-2. The lefty just outside, 2-2.
Well, as a hitter, when you see a ball coming from the other side, it has a little bit different movement. So the ball can come into the hands of a right-handed hitter differently than when a right-handed pitcher is throwing. So there's some adjustments needed to be made in the batter's box.
Here you go. Pitcher for me. Pitcher. Hi.
Remington Haggerty. Caller Remy. Coaches say made the biggest jump from last year to this year. One of 3 returning players from last year's team. Looks over for the call. And delivers the 2-2. Ball. Skips in there, 3-2.
When you talk about a pitcher that's ready for the spotlight, I don't know that you can talk about a better one than Remington Haggerty. She loves the ball in the big moment. She's so composed in those tight spots. She's showing that composure here.
And state championship game against Mallard Creek. Complete game, 7 Ks. In there for a strike. First strikeout of the game for Remy.
I love a pitcher that is not afraid to paint the inside corner, especially coming from the left side. If that ball gets away from the release point, that can be worn by the batter. But right there, that inside corner, not afraid to attack it. Really nice spot and gets a strikeout.
This is an Ohio team that has scored a first inning run in each of their last 5 games. Big reason why they are here. facing elimination 6 consecutive games and coming through with a win. Now for Ohio, Annabelle Mikesell. Caller AB pops this one. First baseman Smith going back and off her glove, but that just goes as a strike.
And that communication over there behind first base can be a little bit tricky between your second baseman, Ansley Jenkins, and Bristol Smith at first base. That should be a second baseman's ball, knowing that a first baseman has to do a lot of tricky footwork to get around the bag. So a good break for Mikesell back in the box.
Caller AB trying to make most of this AB. That one again down the right field line, giving Chase Barrier 1-2. See the center fielder and right fielder shading a little bit more toward right field after those two last swings.
Well, that's a really good recognition of where the ball's going and where it's being pitched. And I like that off-speed try. I like she's ahead in the count. Go ahead and give her a little bit of a different look. The scary part about that call, though, of a changeup is that this hitter has gone to the outside. So maybe bringing in a pitch that's a little bit slower will give her a little bit more power. She'll be more on time.
2-2. Pounds this one to right center field. Barrier going back under it and makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. Remy loading up, setting them down. No score after 1. The Little League Softball World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at this. Not just the games, it's the party and celebration around the games. Look at all the things they get to do, the people they get to meet the days leading up to the World Series.
When this event has just blown up, and when you look at how far away some of these teams have traveled to be here and the paths that they've had to take, they are definitely worth celebrating because this is the biggest moment in their lives in softball so far.
I love that sign that has all the arrows. I don't know how precise those arrows are. If you went straight that way, would you make it? But you don't need to planes, trains, automobiles to get to some of these places. Philippines, we'll see them nearly 9,000 miles away.
Well, and travel wasn't smooth for some of these teams. There was nights spent in airports. Some of these teams traveled over 30 hours to get here.
How about that one? Pitt County below 8 miles. Philippines like, don't show me that arrow. Okay, that's very jealous. That one. Oh, nice play there and scooped by Greathouse. A couple of good plays there for the Ohio first baseman, Retire Smith.
Gotta love it when you can flash the leather, a hard hit ball down the line, and she just gets a little nice scoop, picks it up. Made it look easy, but I can tell you on the hot corner, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking when that ball comes at you that hard.
Bristol Smith holding down first base very nicely. Now Lanaya Ratcliffe strides to the plate very fast. In fact, one coach said fast, another said very, very fast. And you can see first base, third base crashing in as she's thinking and showing some bunt.
And that's one of the things that we heard a lot from these coaches as we talked to them before this tournament is they are not afraid to use the short game. And with continuous batting lineup situations, you've got some hitters that are maybe better at short game than hitting away.
Mila! You put her in the bucket.
Mila, you look at her and watch her demeanor. You have no idea if they're up 7, down 7, championship game, pool play, bracket play, whatever it is. She's just even Steven.
Yeah, so stoic in the circle. And as a defender behind a pitcher like that, it is so easy to play behind him.
Just misses outside. 1-2 to Ratcliffe, the 11-year-old out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Youngest player on their team. Coaches say she's got the most raw talent and most upside. Having a good at-bat here. Still 1-2.
When she's the youngest on this squad, so she's showing great tenacity in the box, being the youngest player on this team, but does not get afraid to just attack the zone. Goes right at these pitches, and being so young and have that much potential. Excited to see where she's going to be in the future.
1-2 to Radcliffe. Off speed, high. 2-2. Radcliffe, the cousin of Peyton James, who is playing for the Pitt County, North Carolina team. There are 2 North Carolina teams here. This one about 175 miles away. Pitt County about 9 miles away. The 2-2. Just misses. Good at bat here for Radcliffe.
But I like that potential to really extend the zone, try to get the call on the outside, maybe a swing and miss on an aggressive batter. But you're seeing Radcliffe with their toes right on the line, knowing that Hamley wants to go outside.
First 3-ball count ends in the 3rd strikeout for Hamley.
And you can see her lips saying that was so low. And I will admit that that ball was a little bit low, but it was close to the plate and close enough that you can't let it go. It's so hard, though, because you've been training all year with a strike zone that you think is pretty accurate. But that information needs to be translated back to the dugout so that other hitters aren't susceptible to that low pitch.
That 7-pitch at bat ends. The 2nd strikeout looking is Ashlyn Pfister. It's that one foul, 0-1. Out of Irwin Middle School in Salisbury. Leads by example, one of the more quiet players on this team.
Ball.
She had a big catch in the right center gap in the state tournament that preserves a 1-1 tie in the 4th. They were able to come away with a big win, but Coach talked about how that catch saved them.
Just inside.
Hard to believe they could need a game-saving catch. They outscored the opposition 46-2 in 5 games, but that last championship game, 2-1 over Mallard Creek to win the state tournament. Working the count again. The 2nd straight at bat. This one to Pfister. And for the 2nd straight inning, North Carolina has a runner on with 2 outs.
And a very mature at bat to be able to work the count after a huge strikeout to Ratcliffe in the batter before.
Now, Emma Smith, 12-year-old out of West Rowan Middle School. Nickname is Drip. Not a bad nickname to have. A lot of pressure when you're picking out the close, though. Shows bunt, runner goes, ball is a strike, and standing up easily off that dropped pitch is Pfister, now 120 feet away from home.
Call strike. Go batter.
The 0-1 to Emma Smith.
Going for that one in.
2 innings, 2 runners in scoring position. Unable to cash in the first inning as we look at Steve Yang, 53-year-old dentist from Salisbury. He's been on this stage before. Coached the 2015, 2019 teams with his daughters. His 4th World Series. Now, when she waved at it, and that's a call. That's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And coaches and pitcher Hamley saying, that's 3. We don't need to try that. It's good practice there. Throw that one down to 3rd, but Hamley gets out of it again. No score. North Carolina and Ohio. As we head to the bottom of the 2nd. Magic Jenny Dalton Hill, Elm Street Park, Stallings Stadium, Greenville, North Carolina. The first of many games coming your way on ESPN Plus, and then ESPN2, and then ABC for the championship 1 week from today. And North Carolina, you know what? You win state championship, there's only one place to go. It's Waffle House. Doesn't matter the time of day.
Well, and the crazy part about it is they had endured an 8-hour rain delay, which pushed the start time of that game back to 10:30. They did not get done until after midnight, and then found themselves at Waffle House celebrating with the 3 people that were still working that
night. There's one cook, one server. Like, you know what? Come on in for this group photo. We were talking to Coach Steve Yang about it. Said, yeah, all the players, the moms, some dads went, maybe about 30 people. It's midnight on a Sunday night. And he said, you know what? If we win this, we're going back there again.
They say it's just down the road, right? So make sure you can get there and celebrate such a fun moment. But when you talk to his daughters, Ellen and Ashley, she said, Dad's changed. Dad would never have allowed us to be so loose and casual when we were playing. But this coaching staff for Central, for North Carolina, they don't have daughters on this team. All 3 of them.
They're going to bed. They don't. You know what? Do whatever you want.
Well, in that big rain delay, the coaches did. They went back and took a nap.
1-1 here. And again, it's rare to have an entire coaching staff. None of them having daughters, let alone nieces or granddaughters, on the roster. Said, you know what? We were asked. They needed a coach, and we said, you know what? Let's do this again. Let's run this back with this group of kids.
Well, and Steve Yang, the head coach, the manager for this team, he very successful. 2 World Series titles under his belt with his daughters Ellen and Ashley in 15 and 19. Hoping to do it again here.
Rennie Haggerty, the pitcher like that, you certainly have the opportunity. The 2-2. That one right back up the middle. Ohio with its first hit of the game. The leadoff batter, Bella Baumgart, is on base.
Well, when you think about what Bella Baumgart has had to do to get to this point, she was out in California until taking a flight late last night to get into Greenville, North Carolina today. It was a rush before the game to get her pictures taken, to get all of her pre-game information gotten by us at ESPN and also by Little League to have her ready to go here today. She starts things off with a really nice hit back up the middle.
Yeah, off the red eye or whatever flight that was, and now you're catching. Playing in the World Series. Sometimes the less time you have to think about it, the better, huh?
Well, and she's just a very good catcher back behind the plate, a staple for this great squad.
There's Tori Greathouse. Made a couple of really nice plays at first base. That one back to the pitcher, Haggerty, to short for 1. Melker to first, not in time, but they do get the lead runner 1 away.
Nice heads-up play by Haggerty in the circle, knowing that she's got that hard comebacker right back to her. Delivers a nice throw over to Melker at second base. But down the line, Greathouse just too fast, able to beat it out.
Now Hamley in the regional hit .357 with an RBI run. Has Greathouse at first, and she laces this one over the shortstop's head. Smith picks it up, fires it into third base immediately. Holding Greathouse at second. Couple of balls, 3 straight balls put in play, 2 on with 1 out.
When Mila Hamley tattoos this ball into the outfield, attacks early, a ball left belt high. She had a great regional going 5 for 14, puts another nice little poke on it to keep things going here.
Now real chance here for Ohio. Ava Fisher, 12-year-old out of Austintown Middle School, puts that one down. It's a really nice bunt. Swipe tag is made by Smith. Runner goes home, and she's out. Greathouse heads home and is tagged out easily. And head coach Matt Hamley just shrugging his shoulders, wondering, why did you take that chance? Clearly, he didn't make that call.
Well, when it comes to defense, it looks as though this North Carolina team came to play. Heads-up defense, gets the tag out, and then staying home, Cresley Patterson is able to get the nice, easy tag to get him out of the inning.
Welcome back to the Little League Softball World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. We are through 2 innings of play. North Carolina, Rowan Little League, no score. Austintown Little League out of Ohio, and it is a steamer today. By the way, always want to let you know, want your child, like these kids, to experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball? Visit playlittleleague.org. Enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. Hamley delivers. That one goes over the shortstop April's head for a base hit. Mackenzie Melker with the second hit of the day for North Carolina. And they lead off the third with a base hit.
Well, and you're seeing North Carolina very aggressive on Hamley in the circle. She is trying to start every batter with a strike. And that one able to get over the head of Averill to start off the inning in a great way for North Carolina.
Go batter.
Both of the base hits for North Carolina coming on the first pitch of the AB. Now opportunity here with the leadoff batter on. Megan Linebarger showing bunt, puts it down. Did it hit the bat twice? It did.
A foul ball.
And we're calling a foul ball. Let's look at that again.
So the bat was out of the hands of Linebarger when it hit again. And so because it was out of her hand, it's just an immediate dead ball. She'll be back in the box. But a great job putting down the sacrifice bunt to move the runner. Unfortunately, the bat just landed in the wrong spot, and she'll have to be back in the box.
Play.
Linebarger down the right field line. The seeing eye single. Melker around second. She's getting into third easily. Back-to-back base hits. Runners on the corners for North Carolina.
North Carolina will take that all day long over a sacrifice bunt. That ball stayed just inside the right field line. Great placement. Outside pitch, lets it get deep, drives it the other way. And while she stands on first base, it gave Melker an opportunity to get all the way over to third.
Now Addison Barrier again. Coach Yang giving the signals at third. See what they decide to do here. It's the 11-hole hitter Barrier. Showing bunt, pulls it back, fake throw to second, and there's no reason to hesitate if you're Linebarger. No one is there at second base.
Yeah, with nobody covering, that was definitely a safety play down there at third to make sure that there was no advancement by Melker home.
Barrier out of Rockwell, North Carolina. Options on the table here for the 11-hole hitter. She's swinging, she's missing, 1-1. Her self-confidence has improved throughout the year, according to her coaches.
And she's a perfectionist,
yeah.
And sometimes that can shoot you in the foot when you know that you want to execute in every situation. The game of softball is a game of failure. You have to be able to flush those bad moments, but here an opportunity to put a run on the board.
That one is high, showing bunt. 2-1. North Carolina 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position thus far today. Barring some unforeseen double play, North Carolina's going to get to turn this lineup over, which can be very hard to do in a continuous batting order. In there for a strike, 2-2.
So much pressure on these young ladies at such an early age, but when you talk to these coaches about these young athletes, they talk about how these moments right now teach lessons that pay dividends later on.
Barrier pops this one over to make the play, Averill. And not even thinking about tagging the base runner Melker. Big first out of the inning.
That was a really nice swing, though, by Addison Barrier. Put that ball in play after trying to put down a couple of bunts. Just couldn't get enough of it to get it beyond the reach of Kate Averill over there behind third. The shortstop coming over to get it.
12-hole hitter. Kenley Shell looking down at the third base coach Yang for her instructions. See the third baseman Mike Sell playing in. Shows bunt, puts it down and hit her in the batter's box. And that will be a foul ball.
Well, and knowing that Tenley Shell is one of the smaller stature players on this team, the defense is actually crowding her, expecting her to bunt. This would be a great opportunity for her to punch a little ground ball past her first or third baseman, but they're expecting her to put the ball in play with a little bit of short game.
Looked like Yang was giving her the swing sign here. The 0-1.
Well, and I think that's a good call, recognizing that your third baseman and your first baseman are so far in the grill of the batter.
Hey, the
it
outfield's
opens
shallow,
up.
so I don't know if we're tagging. If I tell you to go, if I tell you to stop, you got to stop, okay? Hey, you don't have to run. There's nobody behind you.
Last minute instructions from Yang. Yeah, we do have the coaches mic'd throughout the day and throughout the week. And appreciate that. Getting to hear some of the insights and conversations and instructions.
But I do like that he was talking to his runner on second base, letting her know there is no force play being made behind you. A ball to the left side, a ground ball. You do not need to try to advance and run into a tag.
Shell staying alive, 1 and 2.
Love these swings by Shell.
Talk about being a perfectionist. Coaches say if she doesn't make every play or get a hit every at bat, she kicks herself.
I know. Be smart.
And an opportunity here with a 1-2 count. The 12-hole hitter Shell with 2 in scoring position. Shell back to the pitcher. Gets by the pitcher Hamley, coming home out in time. And heading to second base, fake throw is Shell as the 12-hole hitter gets it done and gets the RBI.
Fabulous at bat by Tenley Shell, the last batter in the lineup, able to punch this one just beyond the reach of Mila Hamley in the circle. And why is that important? Because it gives an opportunity for the runner on third base to advance. The runner on second base heads up, able to come across. And then look at the aggressive base running by Tenley Shell. Does not stop at first, puts herself in motion, gets to scoring position as well. But there's the first run of the Little League Softball World Series.
Going to give Shell the RBI single. And advances to second on the throw. And again, that was Avril's really only opportunity. You have to go home. You're not going to get the speedy Shell at first. Why she gets the rewarded with the single. And nothing you could do there. Once it got by Hamley, that was a run scored.
Well, but the reason Melker had to hold is because if Hamley picks that ball up, she's dead in the water. So she has to make sure that she lets that ball get under the glove. So she actually was having to use a ton of speed to get home, knowing that the throw was right behind her.
Hamley looking for the call. 2 more in scoring position. That one skied, might reach the seats. No, it won't. Making the catch, third baseman Mike Sell. That's a great catch against the barrier for the second out of the inning.
Well, Matt, that's a huge out. The top of this lineup for North Carolina is so powerful. So to be able to get that catch in such a crazy area of the field, great job going over and reaching, getting the out. Huge second out of the inning.
And I guarantee you that young lady did not have a good picture of that. She's clutching the camera and getting out of the way. Jenkins outside 1-0. Jenkins struck out looking her first time up in that first inning, but 1-0 lead here for the team from Rowan Little League. A few hours west of here in Greenville. Swing into this 1-1.
Well, that's a good swing by Jenkins, but that screwball had some really good movement on it to continue to move away from the bat head in the circle. We talked about how stoic Mila Hamley is, and she's staying stoic and just pounding the zone, making her defense work for her.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 now to Jenkins. Coaches say she always puts the ball in play. An opportunity to do that on the 50th pitch of the day so far for Hamley.
Kayla, from me.
Well, and what you're seeing is pitchers in the softball world, the difference is they're not under a pitch count restriction. So it's an inning restriction that softball plays under. But what that pitch count is showing you is how effective she's been through the first 3 innings of this game.
1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, North Carolina. Steve Yang's ready to make a play. I mean, Steve Yang, he has tried to make back-to-back plays here. He is undeterred by the line drive.
Well, Matt, he doesn't have butterflies. He's been here before. He's won 2 Little League Softball World Series championships. He's been brought back to try to bring it back to North Carolina.
Give the man a glove at third. 1-2 to Jenkins. Off speed. Yeah, she's gone to the left side 3 consecutive times. Does that impact what Mila throws here?
I actually would not go to a changeup in this situation, knowing that she is taking this ball to the opposite side of the field. She's a little bit behind her contact point. I would try to go and jam her hard on the inside, but that screwball is Mila Hamley's bread and butter.
3 straight foul balls, 7th pitch of the AB. Ball. Outside, 2-2.
Hamley has a curveball. I'd like to see it in this situation. Try to jam up the hands of Jenkins.
12-year-old Hamley facing the 13-year-old Jenkins. The 2-hole hitter with 2 on. Again on the left side.
Cross!
A left-handed batter is oftentimes asked to push the ball to the left side, whether as a slapper or as a hitter, to try to hit, to move runners. But in this situation right here, I'd really like to see Jenkins pull a ball, but it's hard to do off of a screwball pitcher who continues to paint the outside corner.
9th pitch of the at-bat, the 2-2.
But to be able to be aggressive in the box, knowing that she's got 2 strikes on her, she is not leaving it up to the home plate umpire, Dan Collins, to call her out. She is going to continue to foul pitches off and make Mila Hamley work for this out.
5 foul balls from the bat of Ansley Jenkins. Couldn't catch up to that one on the outside corner as Hamley gets her 5th strikeout of the day.
Screwball's been working all day. She sticks with it again against Ansley Jenkins. Strikes her out for the 2nd time today and rings up her 5th of the game.
Hi guys, it's Odyssey Alexander with Athletes Unlimited, and I wanted to wish every participant in the Little League World Series the best of luck. Be you, go out there and kill it, and good luck again.
One of the great stars of this game, lending support to the young ladies here. Girls with a lot of game, North Carolina and Ohio. And when players are filling out their questionnaires, favorite athletes, that name comes up time and again. Odyssey Alexander.
Well, she became everybody's favorite at the World Series a couple of years ago with that amazing dive on a bunt to save a run coming home. I mean, she has etched her name in the World Series for Division I softball for ages. That play was epic.
Sarah Burt, that is one of the more odd superstitions you will see. Whatever works. You got 1. Ball.
Well, the superstitions for this squad has kind of gotten out of control. Coach Hamley says it goes from what you ate for breakfast to the parking spots you have to park in, the hairstyles, the outfits. But Mila Hamley broke her belt and now has to keep a piece of that belt in her back pocket.
Burt fouls that one away.
For me?
Yeah, there's a lot there. And Matt Hamley's wife Darren, who is serving as an assistant this week because one of the other assistants took a new job during state and so couldn't coach in regionals. There you see his wife. She says there are some questions that she doesn't want asked in the dugout during the game. Doesn't want things to be jinxed, so to speak.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations that just can't happen, and so they keep each other in check to make sure that everything stays status quo.
Haggerty, 1 away. Yeah, if you keep winning, if things are working, it's hard to go away from it. Hey, what spot did you park in, fan A, parent B? Park in that same spot at the hotel. Park in the same spot at the field at regionals, please.
Well, and those things are being set right now, right? With this being the first game, wherever you park today, if you win, you better hope it was a good one, because you've got to park in it again at your next game.
So if they don't lose, might have to change hotels. It's a lot.
Here you go. That's it for me.
Yeah, Coach Hamley said we were turning into crazy people at regionals.
Play. Hey.
Amadi Beardsley, the 12-year-old from Youngstown, Ohio. At the plate.
Ball.
Misses 1 and 2. Has a great quote that she goes by. Have to fail first to be successful.
Well, in a game like softball, you're going to fail a lot. You have to be ready to not get a hit or make an error in the field. Find a way to learn from it, make it a positive, make it a strength where it may have been a weakness earlier. There is so much raw talent as young player Beardsley, and the coaches are excited to watch it grow.
She was 1 for 12 in that regional. She's trying to learn as she goes, but another strikeout. As Hagerty gets Beardsley looking. That is Hagerty's second strikeout, both looking.
Yeah, she did have 4 walks in their regional, but this pitch, low and away, really nice spot by Hagerty to paint the corner and start the inning with another strikeout.
Gracie Fonda now at the plate. Forgive her if she's a little exhausted today. Drove all night from Tennessee as she was there for her brother's wedding.
I mean, how rude to schedule your wedding during one of Fonda's maybe most important games of her young career. But yesterday in her brother's wedding in Tennessee, and then her parents got in the car, drove her all the way here through the night to get here for this first game.
It's a 9-hour drive. She might be tired. Parents might be tired.
There's no way Gracie Fonda is tired. She slept in the car.
That's
the
true.
whole
She
way
wasn't
here.
driving. That's true. Yeah, you can't get married at fall football Saturdays or any day in the summer, just in case there's softball. That really limits when you can do it. But Fonda is retired. Still 1-0 North Carolina. They will try to add to their lead next. It's a 1-0 game here in the fourth because of what happened in the third. Back-to-back singles for North Carolina, and the bottom of the order getting it done.
Yeah, set him up to be in scoring position with Mackenzie Melker and Megan Linebarger going back-to-back, solid hits to the outfield. And then Tenley Shell, the last batter in the lineup, squeaks one past the pitcher for a huge base hit. And the only run of this game.
Yeah, 1 run combined, 5 combined hits. We're in the fourth inning, and you know, when you have the continuous batting order and you've got good pitching, it can be tough to get through the lineup here. Runs are going to be at a premium all week.
That's what some of these coaches have talked about, how hard it is to be able to set up a lineup, knowing you have to get all the way through 12 to 14 batters before the top of the lineup comes back up.
And for North Carolina, they got 3, 4, and 5 due up here in the fourth. And on the other side, Ohio in the fourth is going to have 11, 12, and 1. So you can see just a couple of hits here, a couple of hits there. Just get through that order and get your top hitters more at-bats.
Well, the Central had an opportunity to score earlier in this game, kind of squandered that opportunity with some base running miscues, and because of that got tagged out at home rather than extending the inning. So some missed opportunities that I'm sure that they'll go back and talk about as they move through this tournament.
And when you say they talk about it, you know, it's going to be Matt Hamley and his wife Darren Hamley in the dugout together. And he said it was a nice role reversal, or at least nice for her to experience what it's like to be in the dugout. She played. You know, she played high school softball as well. But said in regionals, there was just a lot of talks. Like when they lost that first game of the regionals, he said, she talked to me. And he didn't say we talked together. She talked to me for a half an hour about how we should have won that game. He's like, I know, we should have won the game.
Could you coach with your wife, Matt?
I don't know if that would be possible.
My husband's dream job is to have me be a head coach and him be an assistant coach, and I think that would be the end of our marriage.
That's right. Just make sure, if you're going to decide to coach together, make sure the prenup is...
Oh, we're way past prenup. We're 28 years in.
That's true. You're a little late on that. Sorry, you can't prenup after the nup.
We're way past the nup.
Hamley worked through a 26-pitch inning in that third as North Carolina was able to get a lot of pitches, foul a lot of balls off, and now C.J. Haynes with the first hit of the game. Hard hit double to the gap, and she crushes this one out of play. 3-hole hitter for a reason. Carly Haynes goes by C.J., the 13-year-old. A polite player, but packs a punch.
The ball off of her bat just sounds different. She swings with so much aggression, and I love the way that she is coming and attacking these balls in the zone.
Had a triple, an RBI, a run scored in that state championship game to get them here with that win over Mallard Creek. Off speed and fouled away, 2-2.
Well, to be able to recognize that off speed and still foul it off, really good hitter, staying balanced in her legs, allowing the barrel to stay back to still attack a ball coming in a little bit slower. A good look by Mila Hamley, though, knowing that this is a big hitter in the lineup for North Carolina.
You just better be ready. You better be softball ready on every pitch when Haynes is at the plate.
You have to be softball ready, but Mila Hamley is extending the zone. And when you have a hitter like Haynes, you don't want to leave it near the heart of the plate. She's got a full count, so she can't be too far off the plate, but you don't want to miss over the big part of the plate. This ball will take a ride.
Mixing up her pitches really nicely, trying to keep Haynes off balance.
And this is the most versatility we've seen in the pitches, or most diversity we've seen in the pitchers that Hamley's thrown. We know she has a rise ball. We've seen it in this at-bat. She throws that screwball a ton. But using that rise ball has been good, as well as the changeup in this at-bat against C.J. Haynes.
Haynes fouls this one, going to be out of play. Foul.
And this is the most we've seen the changeup from Hamley to any batter in this game so far. Really utilizing that off-speed pitch to try to get Haynes out of her legs. A very strong hitter, very balanced in that base of her swing.
5 straight foul balls. They've got her timed up. That's going to stay in play, but trying to make the play was Fisher. Too much ground to cover.
And that ball was hit well, very high, but way beyond the reach of Fisher, who does play soccer, but that was a little too far away. That's like a defender trying to be a forward in that situation.
C.J. Haynes is high, 3-2. Had the big hit during their state final, put the first run on the board, trying to put a second run on the board here. She's got the power to do it. The 3-2.
Here you go for me.
And that's at least 5 changeups in this at bat. The difference is when Mila Hamley throws the changeup, she slows her motion down a little bit before delivery. So she kind of tips that pitch to a batter, and to a hitter like C.J. Haynes, who's pretty seasoned, it gives her the chance to stay back in her legs to attack.
Outside and a well-earned walk to lead off the 4th inning for Haynes. The Little League Community Heroes Recognition Program helps to honor those dedicated individuals who not only volunteer their time at local Little League programs, but also contribute in other ways to improve their communities. To learn more or to nominate a community hero, visit littleleague.org/community hero.
That's good, Matt. You've already got one person submitting an entry.
Nice butt put down, and that dies in front of the first baseman, who's able to pick that one up, firing across the diamond. That's some good base running from Haynes. Haynes gets the second on the bunt. Had her head on a swivel and said, you know what, I'm taking third base. Just beats the throw. And now the second run of the game, 60 feet away.
Well, that is heads-up base running over there at first base to be able to come away with a two-base advancement on a sacrifice bunt. But with the third baseman, Annabelle Mikesell, crashing for the bunt, they bring Amanda Beardsley in from left field to try to get that tag over there at third base. But with all the commotion, great job by Haynes to get into third. And now just 60 feet away.
Scored 3-4 as you had Greathouse throwing to Burt, and then Burt had to throw across the diamond. And now back up the diamond. Second run of the game is going to score as Bristol Smith gets the RBI ground out to plate Haynes. 2-0 North Carolina.
In tight games like this, you will gladly trade an out for a run any moment you can. And that was great situational base running and ball club. I mean, to be able to come away with a ground ball, hard hit, scores a run, does her job perfectly.
That is a huge second run for North Carolina.
Well, that's just fundamental softball, Matt, to be able to get the first runner on, you bunt her over, you get a base hit, you score. And that is exactly the blueprint for how you score runs.
And just how important it was for Haynes to be aggressive and get to third base.
6. Keep 1 foot in the box, please. 1 foot.
And they're trying to keep the game moving. Don't want players to have both feet out of the box in between pitches.
Mila,
When it was in Ratliff's last at bat that she got rung up on a pitch that was low in the zone that she did not think was a strike. She will take that information into this at bat now. As she sits with 2 strikes in this at bat, she needs to take control of the strike zone and not let anything close get by.
Anaya Ratcliffe, fastest player on the team. So her favorite actor is Macaulay Culkin. And the related story, her favorite movies are Home Alone 1, 2, and 3. Now, he wasn't in the third one. But you already knew that, Jenny.
Of course I did.
The 1, 2.
How old is Macaulay Culkin now?
He's 74.
No, but those are such iconic movies that I think we all watch around Christmas time.
Anaya Ratcliffe. Trying to play the role of the Wet Bandits and get on base, steal a base. I know she's not on base. It was a stretch.
It was a good try.
All right.
Filthy animal.
Keep the change. The 2-2. Slap to short. Charging is Averill. She's got to beat it. Fastest player on the team is not going to get thrown out with a ground ball to deep short. And a 2-out infield single.
Well, the fans are so excited to see Ratliff be able to pull off that ground ball to the left side and then just put those wheels in motion. Not even close. Great job running down the line. One of the things that doesn't ever go in a slump in our game is speed, and she's got it.
Ratcliffe now, you got to think she's going to be running here, although you do want to be careful. But Ashlyn Pfister walked her last time up, and you want to get a runner in scoring position. See what they decide to do here. Good throw there from the catcher Baumgart. But too fast was Ratcliffe. And that's one of those things, you're showing bunt, but you're not going to bunt. You're pulling that back, you had the corners crash. But that was just more so to distract the pitcher.
Yeah, everybody at the field knew that that was a runner in motion with a bat, just trying to distract a catcher, to get in the eyes of the catcher who's trying to receive, make a transfer, and throw down to second. But behind the plate, Bella Baumgart delivered a great throw down to second base.
Bella Baumgart. Again, you do not envy the catchers this week. Middle of summer. Southeast portion of the United States. Here at Greenville, North Carolina. Temps in the 90s this week. That one to the other side. But Burt has it for out number 3. But not before North Carolina is able to plate another run. Ohio 2 down here in the 4th. Little League Softball World Series, last 5 champions. Texas just dominates in a lot of different ways. You had Wheelersburg in 2018. It's been here for the last few years. 2019, Salisbury, North Carolina, able to win it right here on the home field. How about that Oklahoma team? Boy, were they fun to watch. Some power hitters in 2021. And then last year, coach still drying off from that Gatorade bat. The team out of Hewitt, Texas. That team is back this year. The champs out of the Southwest. A lot of returning players. They're taking on North Carolina out of Pitt County coming up later on.
Yeah, but there's the rest of the day's schedule. Game 2, 3, and 4. That'll be both sides of the bracket that'll meet up in the championship game next Sunday.
A couple of international teams. Latin American champs. Canada, which they haven't been home in 2 weeks. They just went right from their playdowns in Alberta to the regional, taking down Quebec, and then now they're here. We said, how do you pack for that long? What'd you say?
You pack to win.
You pack to win, and you pack laundry detergent.
But I think everybody's looking forward to seeing how Texas comes back in today in that game, in our 4th game of the day, to see if they're going to be able to put together the same kind of firepower as they did last year as they won the championship.
11, 12, and 1 due up here for Ohio. If you're North Carolina, you're on the verge of starting to count some outs here. They got to put some things together and get somebody on base in the dirt, 1 and 2.
Well, Matt, you mentioned those outs starting to dwindle for Ohio, and what happens in that is you start to press in the box, and that swing right there was a defensive swing that you do when you feel a little bit of pressure.
The 11-year-old to second base. Jenkins up with it. 1 away. Twelve-hole hitter, Gianna Hoops. Now at the plate, the 11-year-old. From Austin Town, and she's going to turn 12 years old on Wednesday. Right here.
Well, I think she's hoping that she gets to have a little party in Greenville.
Got the Prism bat. Fires that one away. See a bunch of these bats pretty consistently. You can start to recognize them just as they pick them up. Once one kid buys them, then the rest of the team has to buy them. Or you can share, but, you know, they only have so many hits in them, right?
That's right. You don't want to give away any of your hits out of your $400 bat.
That's right. Hi, Mom. Bella would like to borrow my bat. Tell her to get her own.
We can tell her where we got it.
That's right. We'll get her a coupon code. The 1-1.
Now, these players get a lot of gear when they get to the Little League World Series. Maybe we should start seeking out some bat deals for these kids, right? With NIL, it won't affect their eligibility.
That is true. The 1-2. Now, if you were given a new bat, though, at the World Series, would you use it?
I would hit with it in warm-ups or in practice leading up, and if it had some good pop, I would try it in my first at-bat. If it went well, it would probably stay. If it didn't go so well, it would find its way probably back to my bag, and I'd bring out the trusty.
It gives you a backup bat if you have a strikeout, right? Like, you know what, this bat's
It's not me, it's the bat.
That's correct. A good craftsman always blames his tool.
Right. Or not.
You saw in the dugout there, a lot of teams have that superstition too. You can't cross the bats in the dugout. Those were very lined up very well as they were against the fence. The 2-2 to Hoops. Swing and a miss. Strikeout, first strikeout swinging for Haggerty. 2 away here.
And extending the zone, taking the ball off the plate, keeping it to her arm side, gets a nice swing and miss, and that received back behind the plate by Patterson. This duo so good together, and Haggerty rolling.
And those are just huge outs, because now you got the top of the order in Seneca Coates, who nearly got on with an infield single.
Foul!
But it was thrown out. I've checked that, Mike. Here's what happens when you have 13 players in the lineup. I forgot I had added another one. That is totally my fault. I'm sorry, Lexi. It's my fault. Lexi Petrilla is now at the plate. So it's 11, 12, and 13. This is, I believe, the only team carrying 13 here this week.
Yeah, we had a lot of 12 on the roster, 14 on the roster, but this is a unique one as Petrilla finishes out the lineup for Ohio.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Haggerty. 3 up, 3 down, retired in order in back-to-back innings.
Haggerty rolling in the circle with her 4th strikeout of the day. Sits down the last batter in the lineup for Ohio.
Welcome back. Little League Softball World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Pat Chick alongside Jenny Dalton Hill. It is 2-0 North Carolina from Rowan Little League, taking on Ohio Central Region champs. And in the circle remains Mila Hamley, who's a huge fan of Montana Fouts, and in fact got to meet her a couple of years ago at a pitching camp with Montana Fouts, and they've kept in somewhat touch over the last couple of years. But I'll show you some of that video coming up as Emma Smith waves at the first one, 0-1. Well, take a look at this from 2021.
That's the thing that NIL has actually opened the doors for. Relationships between younger players and the icons of our game. In years past, before NIL, that moment doesn't get to happen because you don't get to go and work a camp that has your name on it, that has your branded gear at it.
Please. 1 foot in the box.
And you don't get an opportunity to make the impressions that you now can against impressionable young players like Mila Hamley.
Foul ball to the right side. Burt, nice little flip there. 1 away. You would have been able to do it, but you wouldn't work the camp. You'd volunteer the camp. You
could work camps and you could be paid minimally for them, but now the camp can wear your name. It can be branded as your event. And if you're Montana Fouts, that pays exponentially because you have people from all across the country, all across the world who want to be able to come not just to meet you, but also pick your brain on to how to get better.
Kenzie Melker. It's in a called strike. The 11-year-old from West Rowan Middle School. He'll turn 12 later this month. Color Peanut. He's been with the league since he was in coach pitch and has improved every year according to the coaches. Likes chicken wings and both Top Gun movies.
I'm on board with that. I like both Top Gun movies too. Problem is I saw the first one when I was her age.
That one drops in. Oh, did not make the catch. As Ava Fisher tried to dive and make the catch. A good effort. But that goes down as a base hit for Melker.
Yeah, so Melker stays perfect on the day. It looks as though they're going to challenge this, though. That in real time looked to be a trap as it hit the ground and then bounced into the glove. Good look there in slow motion A little bit of a short hop. Good call out there by Keith Ludwig on first base. But they're going to go ahead and have a little chat about it to see if he saw it correctly.
Outside of Fisher, no one was in a better position to see that than the first base umpire, Keith Ludwig.
Well, and he was right on it. I mean, his eyes were trained right to where the ball was. He saw that ball hit the grass.
My guess is he wasn't going to go challenge. He said, can you just go talk to the other umpires without challenging, just to see? It looks like they might still go challenge.
I think this is a good call, though. I think Keith Ludwig, the umpire over there at first base, was in position to see that ball hit the ground, bounce into the glove of the right fielder, Ava Fisher. I think that's a great call, and he saw it in real time. And these umpires are volunteering their time. They are umpires that have done so many games, not just in Little League, but these are paid umpires across the country as well. So as they step in, they are seasoned, but they recognize the importance of Little League and volunteer their time here in Greenville for the World Series.
I'd speak for every Little League coach around the country that it would be fun and really helpful to have replay at your local rec league. Could you imagine that?
Good luck, Matt.
All right, 12-year-old Billy, go under the hood, and let's see if we can correct this call that you made. This one doesn't appear it's reviewable, so she will be safe. She's also safe because it was the right call.
Correct. Yeah, that's just not a reviewable play. So he'll retain that.
So Melker gets the base hit to right, and that brings up Megan Linebarger again. This was the bottom of the order. The bottom four in the order had 4 of their 5 hits so far today. Four of their 6 hits so far. And now Megan Linebarger, who had that big hit in the 3rd inning.
Fly!
At the plate. We'll see if Melker's running. That's a good lead. 0-1.
Well, if there's one area of the game that has improved in Little League, it's pitching. I am so impressed with the way that these two pitchers in the circle are doing such a good job of filling the zone, extending the plate, getting those swings and misses.
Mila!
I mean, there used to be years where you would come to the Little League World Series and maybe the pitching wasn't on point, so the bats were really taking advantage. But so far, these two pitchers have set the bar very high for the rest of the field.
Mila Hamlin, 12-year-old out of Austintown Middle School, facing Linebarger. She's got a piece of that lucky belt that tore, broke off from the state championship game. It's in her pocket somewhere. The 0-2.
Mila! That's why you don't trust me to catch. That's why I can't catch.
She won the fastest pitching competition and their league's home run derby this year in rec. That one is foul. Did Hamley.
Mila!
Yeah, she's an all-around athlete. Love the way that she is so composed in the circle, just carries herself with the right demeanor to give confidence to her defense, but also very stoic to not give an advantage to the batter to think that they've got an edge.
That opening loss to Iowa allowed 7 runs, 11 hits in 9 innings in regionals, then allowed 3 runs over the next 24 innings of work. Throw down, out of time.
I like that aggressive tag over there at first base by Greathouse. I always would tell my players, like, let them know that you're throwing down. Make sure that that tag is felt. That one was definitely
Maybe
felt.
you can push her off the base, too, if it's aggressive enough.
No, I'm not saying go that far.
2-2. This one to second base, making the catch. It's Burke. She's done a very nice job so far today. 2 away. here in the 5th.
Yeah, she's shown great range. Zara Burt over there able to come away with some nice plays in the 3-4 hole, and then fancy footwork, pulling away a little pop-up there, but so good over there at second base with that range.
Addison Barrier, who popped up to short her first time up.
Foul!
Such an aggressive approach here for North Carolina. See a pitch you like, hit it. These girls are barreling up some balls today.
Well, and you're seeing them move in the box. We've seen the left-handed batters putting their toes on the line to attack the screwball by Mila Hamley in the circle, but now these right-handed batters are standing way off the plate to give them a little bit more distance to get the barrel through the zone. So that information they've communicated back to the dugout. Really good job of just disseminating that information back to the dugout so batters are aware. But look how far off the plate you're now seeing Addison Barrier as opposed to some of those left-handed hitters who have had their toes on the line.
Ball. Is that something that the batters communicate, or is that something that coaches pick up?
I mean, you're hoping it's batters they're telling you, but more than likely at this age, it's a coach that's giving that information to his dugout. Knowing the way that Steve Yang has coached this team, he's doing a really good job of just making sure everybody has the information.
Swing and a miss, foul tip, caught. Well, that's strike 3. And out number 3. 6th strikeout of the day for Hamley. Ohio needs some runs. 6 outs to go. OHIO. They need some O. Need some H. Need some hits. North Carolina with a 2-0 lead. The team from Austintown, Ohio. Austintown Little League. Just a couple of hits so far today. They've had opportunities, and we heard head coach Matt Hamley in between innings said, we got to get a hit. We got to get a run. We got to squeeze one out here. And you think about it, this is the 2nd time through the order right now, and we're in the 5th inning. So you don't want to say do or die, and there's no die here today. It's double elimination, but at the same time, the time is now.
At Little League, changing to a continuous lineup where every player on your roster hits has really changed the dynamic of how you put a lineup together. And we've seen some strategy by some of the coaches where they've put sets of 3-4 batters together where it's kind of speed, contact, power. But so far we're seeing that the bottom of the lineup has now flipped back over to the top. So you're only getting 2 at-bats maybe in your Little League game.
Big strikeout, Seneca Coates. Seneca Coates, when she gets on base, they call her an automatic run. She's 0 for 2 today.
Yeah, she tried a drag bunt in her first at-bat, but this ball falls off the table. What a spot by Haggerty to pull the string on this one and allow it to just run away from Seneca Coates and get her 5th strikeout of the day.
68% strike percentage so far for Haggerty in the circle. As that one is lasered to center field. Coming out to make the catch is Tenley Shell for the 2nd out of the inning.
And sometimes those hard hits off the bat to a center fielder are really hard to judge because you don't know if you need to turn and run or dive in. And you could tell that out there in center, Tenley Shell took a moment to read the path of the ball before she reacted. I love the way that she came hard in on that one. She made it look easy, but in center field, that's one of the hardest plays to make. The ball hit right at you.
1, 2, 3 in the order. Trying to retire him 1, 2, 3, but instead a hit batter. And Annabelle Mikesell. 2-out base runner here with the HBP.
Well, that's the kind of reaction you want when a batter gets hit because it can be really scary when they wear it as hard as she just did. But Mikesell jogs down to first base, and she's ready to keep this inning alive.
Hit by the pitch in regionals. Now here in the World Series. And now the 4-hole hitter, Bella Baumgart, hit .357 in the regional. Does have one of the 2 Ohio hits today. Originally from Flint, Michigan, Big Michigan fan waves at that one, 0-2. And Haggerty's dialed in. The 0-2. Got it! Haggerty, couple more strikeouts in the inning. 6 for the game and a 2-run lead into the 6th.
Bella Baumgart can hit it out when the ball is left big, but here Remy Haggerty drives the ball up and away, swing and a miss to get herself out of the inning and put her team back in the dugout to try to score some more.
Welcome back to the Little League Softball World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Matt Schick, Jenny Dalton Hill. We're in the 6th inning. North Carolina, 175 miles away. Rowan Little League making the trip here and have made the trip to home plate a couple of times. Back in the 3rd inning, and back-to-back singles. And then it was the bottom of the order, Tenley Shell, who came up with an RBI single as well.
Yeah, a huge hit to put North Carolina on the board with the first run. Squeaked it past, but then Bristol Smith in the 4th inning was the one that was able to get it done. Remy Haggerty's sacrifice bunted and aggressive base running by C.J. Haynes put her all the way to 3rd, and then Bristol Smith, the hero, punching that ground ball to the shortstop. Nice little hit, another RBI, and that's where we sit, 2-0 in this game.
And one of the more critical at-bats of the game. Not only Tenley Shell, a 12-hole hitter in that 3rd inning, but in the 4th inning, leading off that inning, C.J. Haynes. It was an 11-pitch at-bat as this one's down the left field line, and that's fair! That's Tenley Shell again, the 12-hole hitter. An RBI single in the 3rd, and a single to lead off the 6th. Wow.
You gotta love a batter who knows when to turn things on. And at the bottom of the lineup, sometimes coaches may think that this is one of those hitters that can't get it done. But Tenley Shell has a ball hit with eyes, finds the line to keep it fair, start the inning off right, and turn it back over to the top of the lineup where a little bit more power comes to the plate.
Presley Patterson now at the plate. See if they put Shell in motion. Again, when you can have the bottom of your order get on base, let alone get a base hit, I mean, that's just gravy at that point. But she has a couple of hits. One of the 2 runs batted in. Now for Hamley, pitch number 100. Off speed hangs high, 1-0.
Well, Matt, the crazy part about it is North Carolina is 5.
Counts 2-0.
Now I'm doing quick math. 5 for 8. In their last 4 batters at the bottom of the lineup, and they turned it back over to the top where they're trying to punch things away, but the top of the lineup has not been as effective as the bottom.
In the 2nd, Bart has it. Bart, let's see, 31 foul balls today for North Carolina batters. What does that do for both sides? Both as the pitcher, you're seeing them continue to foul it off, and for your hitters.
Well, you know that Mila Hamley has really good movement in that situation, knowing that the ball continues to move through the zone. She's not just throwing to spots, but she's using her spin to be able to allow the ball to carry to different places as the ball is entering the zone. And so those miss hits are the result of some really good movement by Mila Hamley.
North Carolina has been terrific at just manufacturing some runs. See what they did there. Even the ground out to 2nd. You hit behind the runner. Runner gets to 2nd base. And now you've got some options on the table here for Jenkins, who has struck out in her 2 at-bats today.
Hey, it's 2-0. 2-0.
It's the voice of Steve Yang, head coach. That one is high, 3-0. Angel Jenkins, who has struck out twice today. I think she's in take mode, and she was 3-1.
Yeah, 3-0 is one of those counts that you want to make the pitcher bring the ball back to the zone. But against a pitcher like Mila Hamley, that might be the best strike you see, is that 3-0 pitch.
So leadoff single. And now a walk with one out here in the 6th. And C.J. Haynes, probably the most dangerous hitter in this lineup for North Carolina, draws a conversation in the circle with Coach Matt Hamley and his daughter.
Hey, relax. Listen, pitching-wise, we got runners on 1 and 2. You got to find your spots, okay? Relax, good mechanics, keep your angle, hit your spots, stay hard, stay throwing hard. Get the outs, girls. Relax, field the ball, get the out. Okay, where we got to force anywhere, wherever it takes you, make the play. All right, we got to hold them. Hit your spots, go hard. All right, let's go. Here we go. Defense on 2.
Defense on 2.
1, 2. Thank you.
Sometimes just go out there to calm them down. And again, I will say, someone who's been around diamond sports my entire life, I have never heard anything, any chant on 2.
No, that's
the first I've ever heard it.
That's the first for me as well. But the message is the same, I think, for every coach across the country. When you're in those tight situations, you say relax. But it's hard to do, knowing that your heart rate's elevated with the game on the line. You're at the Little League Softball World Series, and you want to just perform. You're sitting 2 runs down, and you're trying to find a way to punch a couple more across. So Central needs to make sure that they execute, stay relaxed, and just continue to play solid defense.
Haynes, boy, she can swing in the bat, foul ball. As Shell will go back to second base. If she barrels up a ball, this could go anywhere.
When regionals saw out of the park home runs.
Hey, that's a great swing, kid.
She is sitting dead red. That one right back up the box, and there it is. Shell's getting around third. She's going to score. The throw home, and that is going to cost them a couple of bases. That throw home was not going to be in time. It was not able to be cut off. And so Jenkins goes into third, and Haynes into second. RBI, third run of the game, 3-0 North Carolina.
I tell you what, the bottom of this lineup for North Carolina is so impressive. Not only is Tenley Shell able to start off the inning with a hit, but the wheels that she produces coming off of second base, that is a hard hit ball to center field. Seneca Coates comes up with it cleanly, throws hard home, and look at that, not even close. Tenley Shell so fast.
Oh, Remy Haggerty. And again, a 3-0 lead for North Carolina. They have 3 runs. Ohio has 2 hits. Tough hill to climb here for an Ohio team that is in a very familiar position. Haggerty gets by the first baseman, Greathouse. Coming in to score is Jenkins. Haynes rounds third. That throw is up the line. 5-0 North Carolina. RBI single for the pitcher of record today for North Carolina.
And this is a hot shot down the line, up and away, just past the glove of Tori Greathouse over there at first base. Ava Fisher gets to it quickly, but again, North Carolina aggressive on the bases, plates 2 more.
Now Bristol Smith pounds this one to center field. Coates going back under it. That's a loud second out for Bristol Smith. They are hitting the ball hard all day long. 8 hits, 5 runs for this team from Rowan County.
Well, Matt, the crazy thing is that may have been the hardest hit ball we've seen today, but it was right into the glove of Coates as she played Smith very deep.
Steve.
And with 2 outs, Haggard is going to get a pinch runner. But first, Steve Yang has to dial it up at home. Steve Yang, got to pick up the red phone.
Yeah, it is 94 degrees out here. Can we get some Gatorade, maybe some Propel, maybe some water, just something? Can you just get it down here to the dugout? We're up big. We're hot. We're smoking hot right now. But we're really hot inside with our body temps, please.
Okay.
Well, and we know that everybody likes Gatorade. We saw it on all their questionnaires. There were only a handful of them that didn't like Gatorade. So that's a good call, Matt.
Interesting that audio is able to pick that up.
I know, we're so grateful that we have so much access here at the Little League World Series.
And it's got to be the last batted out, so Bristol Smith is your pinch runner at first base. Courtesy runner, I should say.
That courtesy runner only available to your pitcher and your catcher, and so that's why she enters and runs for Haggerty.
And only available with 2 outs.
Mm-hmm.
Lanaya Ratcliffe. Single her first time, or second time up in that 4th inning. You're down 5-0. You're in the field, and it's a hot day. Just get through this inning and see what the bats can do. These bats just are smoking here for North Carolina. This does not look like a team that hasn't played in 2 weeks.
No, their last game, July 9th.
Oh, my goodness.
And so what did Steve Yang do? He brought together alumni players from previous years to play inter-squad scrimmages and give them opportunities to have live at-bats so that when they got here, they would be ready to go, and it looks like it's paying off.
Ratcliffe gets by the diving shortstop, Averill. Smith's going to hold at second base. 9th hit of the game for North Carolina. The 6th inning continues.
Well, and what are you seeing? You're seeing great adjustments made by these hitters for North Carolina. Lanaya Ratcliffe, in her first at-bat, did not like the way it went down. She got rung up on a low and away pitch, and what has she done in her last 2 at-bats? Solid hits to put herself in play and give opportunities to score runs.
Foul! Bill, go and throw that in.
Ashlyn Pfister. Favorite fruit is crab legs, and she has hermit crabs for a pet. Not asking any follow-ups. That one fouled away.
There's not much meat in those, though.
I got you, Val.
And we've seen so many of these athletes playing multiple sports, and Pfister, one of them that plays basketball, track, cross country, and golf, as well as being an amazing softball athlete.
Multi-sport athlete. That one to third. Mike Sell the first. Nice stretch. And that does it for North Carolina. But not before they score 3 more runs. Can Ohio answer? 3 more outs. Elm Street Park, Stallings Stadium, Greenville, North Carolina. North Carolina with 5 runs on 10 hits.
Find a way. Where'd you hit it last time?
And for Austintown Little League, they're in familiar territory. You know, this is not an elimination game, but 6 straight elimination games they won. And frankly, they lost the opening game in districts. They lost the opening game in regionals. So that'll probably be the message if they can't come back today.
Yeah, they know how to play with their backs against the wall. I think that Coach Hamley would rather play in the winner's bracket, but this team has been very successful playing from behind.
5, 6, 7 due up here in the order. Facing Remy Haggerty, who has only given up 2 hits today. To go along with 6 strikeouts.
Well, and when we talked to North Carolina's coaches, they talked about how they didn't have strikeout pitchers. But what you're seeing is really strong defense for North Carolina that has been able to support Haggerty in the circle. Just those 2 hits, like you said.
Great house to left. Smith coming in and making the catch. The backhanded runner gets the leadoff batter in the 6th. The defense has been there all day long.
Well, out there in left field, that's one of the hardest catches to make off of a left-handed batter because the ball continues to trail away from you. So you could see that she had a beat on it, but she had to really pick up the pace of that run to be able to come away with that ball tailing away from her.
You hear the sigh there from Matt Hamley. We could hear that at third base. The third base coach, head coach for Ohio. It's hard enough.
Mila, let's go.
They've struggled at the plate, but then when you barrel one up and you get out, it's just one of those days.
Ball. Two-oh.
2-1 now to Hamley. It's 1-for-1 today, but just her second at bat, and it's a frustrating day when your best hitters are just getting 2 at bats on the day. And you look at North Carolina, their top 7 have had 3 at bats.
And when you string hits together, it allows more batters to come up, put runners in motion, put pressure on the defense, and so far Central has been unable to figure out the puzzle of Remy Haggerty in the circle.
Off speed in there for a called strike 3. 7th of the day for Haggerty, 1 out away from moving to 1-0.
I mean, I don't know if Steve Yang was lying to us in that interview before. He said they didn't have strikeout pitchers, but here's Haggerty pulling the string, getting a nice little change up to nip the corner, her 7th strikeout of the day. She has been so good in the circle.
He said that, and I recited the stats. 48 strikeouts in 32 innings in districts and state. What do you mean she's not a strikeout pitcher?
Well, maybe you didn't want to jinx it. I mean, we've heard a lot about superstitions and things you can and can't talk about, but Steve Yang has put together a really nice ball club.
1-1. Again, for Ohio, lost the opener of the regional in 9 innings. It had to win 6 straight elimination games. That one's fouled out of play.
Here you go.
They allowed 3 runs or fewer in all 6 wins. So this is a team that has been able to battle back, but there's no question that the caliber of competition and caliber of play just increases as you go, and none better than right here in Greenville this week.
Well, and winning this ball game pushes you to a game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Losing this ball game gives you tomorrow off. So a nice little breather, little time to recuperate, knowing that you've got a long road ahead of you to make it back to the finals.
The 2-2 to Fisher. Got her. Remy Haggerty, 8 strikeout, complete game, 2-hit shutout. And North Carolina is a winner in day 1 in Greenville.
That's the way to start your time here in North Carolina, in Greenville, at the Little League Softball World Series. Great performance by Rowan Little League to come away with a huge win to start things off. Austintown Little League out of Ohio, a long road now back, but they're used to it. They know how to play out of the loser's bracket and be very successful.
North Carolina hadn't played in nearly a month. It's either rest or rust. It was definite rest. They looked like they hadn't missed a beat. So North Carolina advances to tomorrow. They will take on the Philippines at 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. And Ohio goes down to the elimination bracket. Remy Haggerty Not a strikeout pitcher? Could have fooled us, Coach Yang.
Yeah, don't tell me that kind of nonsense anymore, because Remy Haggerty was filling the zone, extending off the plate, getting the swings and misses, using the changeup, using the curveball, using her two-seam, her four-seam, that drop ball. And it was maybe more that changeup that was impressive at the end of the game as she pulled that one out. Huge day with 8 strikeouts, allowing just 2 hits and a really big shutout game.
The team from North Carolina, one of 2 North Carolina teams here in Greenville this week. Rowan Little League gets the win. Our final score, 5-0, North Carolina over Ohio. Day 1 of the Little League Softball World Series continues at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Puerto Rico versus Canada. Jenny Dalton Hill and I will be here for that on ESPN+. What a day it was. What a morning it was. We've just begun the first of 4 games today in sunny Eastern North Carolina. The team from Rowan gets the win. 5-0.